Hello everyone, my name is Hanfei Dong from Hanyang University in South Korea, and my advisor is Professor Simon Song. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about mean velocity and TKE measurements in a refrigerator machine room using magnetic resonance velocimetry. Firstly, I will explain the background of our research. A growing number of customers prefer a refrigerator with high energy efficiency and low noise. At this time, it's important for engineers to understand the internal flow distribution and key characteristics when designing a refrigerator machine room. As you can see in this picture, there are many 2D model-based experiments or CFD studies, but 3D-based mean velocity and TKE benchmark data are insufficient. MRV is a flow visualization technique that can be applied to opaque and complex flow to obtain three-dimensional mean velocity and TKE by using a conventional MRI scanner. Therefore, the objective of this research is to visualize the mean velocity and TKE in a refrigerator machine room by MRV and provide three-dimensional experimental benchmark data for improving the design of the machine room. In detail, we aim to measure and analyze the characteristics of the three-dimensional and three-component mean velocity and TKE of a flow in a 3D printed model of a refrigerator machine room. Also, we wanted to propose an improved geometry with higher flow rate and more uniform flow distribution through the heat exchanger and a lower TKE. Next, I will explain briefly about the experimental setup. This figure shows a closed-loop circuit including pump, electromagnetic flow meter, refrigerated and heating circulator, and data acquisition instrument. For this experiment, the phantom is a reservoir with half-scaled-down machine room model placed inside the MRI scanner. In order to suppress the disturbance caused by incoming flow to the machine room model, a flow conditioner is inserted at the right of the reservoir. The flow enters from the right inlet, passes through the flow conditioner machine room model, and exits at the left outlet. As a working fluid, a copper sulfate aqueous solution is used instead of air. The flow rate was set to 13.2 rpm to make a Reynolds analogy. Next, I would like to explain the LG mass-produced reference model and the improved model proposed through our research. First, the direction of the side inlet and outlet was changed to horizontal, and the area increased by 60%. Next, there was a guide wing when looked down from the top of the rear panel and we removed it. Fourth, we changed the two-stage inlet to a single stage. Fifth, plugged the inlet in the bottom panel, and in the sixth, moved the refrigerant pipe to a location with less flow interference. Finally, we relocated the flow blocking pillar. The reason for structure modification will be explained in the research results. From now on, I will talk about the results of the flow visualization. Firstly, I will show you the result of three-component mean velocity measurements. The spatial resolution is 0.5 mm, and the number of signal average is 4. As you can see, the flow enters from the right inlet and passes through the heat exchanger, fan, compressor, and finally exits from the left outlet. Next result is the key video of reference model along the y-axis. Different from the mean velocity data, the spatial resolution is 1 mm and the number of signal average is 30. Through this video, we can confirm where the flow is non-uniform and the TKE is high. Here are the results of ratio of effective flow rate through heat exchanger along y-axis. As you can see, the red box is the heat exchange loop. The total flow rate passing through the machine room model interior is constant, but the flow rate through the heat exchanger is different for each slice along y-axis. To quantitatively investigate how many the flow rate through heat exchanger, we define the ratio of effective flow rate as the flow rate through heat exchange loop in total flow rate. Looking at the graph, it was confirmed that the total flow rate through heat exchanger of improved model was increased by 17.3% compared to the reference model. Here are the TKE mapping results. As you can see, the reference model, especially at the downstream of the two-stage inlet and the left side of the heat exchanger, showed relatively high TKE. Because the flow uniformity of the improved model is improved, we can see that the area with high TKE are reduced a lot. From this table, you can see that the number of voxels with a higher TKE were reduced greater, more dramatically than those with a lower TKE. Therefore, it's probably leading to a reduced turbulence-induced noise. From now on, I will talk about the changes in flow characteristics due to structure modification. Looking at the position of plan 1, in the reference model, the inlet angle is arbitrarily upward, so the flow towards to heat exchanger is non-uniform, and there is a large-scale secondary motion resulting in an energy loss. The improved model with horizontal flow direction at the inlet, with 60% increase in area, shows more uniform flow distribution and a higher speed. Next is the effect of the guide vanes and the position of the flow blocking pillar. Improved model without the guide vanes and the location change of flow blocking pillar, you can see that more flow going into the heat exchanger and more uniform and lower TKE distributions. Here is the effect of two-stage and one-stage inlet. Looking at the position of plan 1, the reference model shows a very high TKE due to the structure of the two-stage inlet. By combining the inlet from two-stage to a single one-stage, we can see that the improved model shows dramatically reduced TKE. Next is the effect of the refrigerant pipe location. In the reference model, since the refrigerant pipe is located downstream of the inlet, the TKE value is inevitably high. By relocating the refrigerant pipes, we can see that the improved model shows a reduced TKE distribution. Here is the conclusion of our research. In this study, we successfully visualized the three-dimensional mean velocity and TKE inside the refrigerator machine room by MRV. In the improved model we proposed, the mean flow rate through the heat exchanger increased by 17.3%, leading to a higher thermal efficiency, and the region of a high TKE value reduced by more than 80%, probably leading to a reduced turbulence-induced noise. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.